Over the past 1 month, I have done YouTube teaching. YouTube would count as two YouTube channels, this channel and a faceless channel, medium writing, what else, and freelance design. So I have five things I get to do in 24 hours. And it was crazy. Let me give you an idea of what a side hustle is and what a side hustle can do to you as a person. At an early age of 22, 23, I started my work experience, or let me say professional a career as a teacher. I was a primary education teacher. And at this point, if you know the Nigerian educational system, you know, as a teacher, you get to teach all subjects, all the subjects. And also, I want to crave your indulgence. I have a bit of a sore throat. I'm just recovering from what's it called, fever, or let me say I caught cold. So I have been taking some medicine over the course of 1 week. Let me put it that way. So right now I have Mentos or something in my mouth. So I might be leaking and I'll be talking too. I'm just struggling. I want to push something out today. So that said, I started as a teacher, and as a teacher, you get to teach all the is it 9 subjects, 9 or 10 subjects as a teacher, as a primary school teacher. So I did that, and at this point, I am a firm believer of whatever we call hustles. So at this point in time, as a teacher, I would work from 7 till 7 p.m. and I would get home and also pick up my writing gig. I was a part teacher, a part writer. So I did teaching during the day and writing, any writing gig I got on Fiverr. I would write from 9 p.m. after lunch, talk with family, and start from 9 p.m. till around 12 a.m. That was my lifestyle, right from morning, work teaching from morning till afternoon or evening, then writing from 9 p.m. till 12 a.m. Then it got to a point where my writing gig became something bigger. And at this time, I felt a bit of stress. That's what I called it at the time. I was writing overnight. I was working during the day, and I was seriously stressed. I had to quit teaching. So I stopped teaching and focused solely on writing. But at this point, I still felt something was missing, which was my writing. So instead of totally quitting teaching, I did not quit totally. I stopped my office, like my official job as a teacher. I was able to join these teaching centers where I prepared students for, we call it JAM. So I was a physics and mathematics teacher. So I would do that just in the evenings. So I switched my writing tasks, or let me say writing gig, from night time to, let me say, morning time. But remember, I work on Fiverr, which means a plethora of people, they create gigs, they give orders overnight. I discovered that over the course of time, my side hustles eventually take over my main gig. My side hustle, maybe they take over my job. I started as a teacher. I became a full-time writer. I became a full-time writer. I employed a lot of people, and that's how we went over. But I went for service year. Students do after university. You have to serve your country for a year. It was this period of 3 months I had to just go away, and I couldn't write. By the time I got back, it had totally affected my what's it called, my writing gig. It was crazy, and I just couldn't. It was horrible. But this time I had some other jobs in view. So as writing was going down a bit, I had other things going on. And that went on and on until I left Nigeria. Before leaving Nigeria, I should take note that I had started looking into programming, HTML, JavaScript, everything, but I just didn't feel the stick. So I decided not to continue with that. But back in 2019, 2020, I decided to hop into UI UX design, and that was it for me. While I was doing my volunteer teaching, I was a student. I was studying my master's in petroleum engineering. At this time, I just UI UX just ticked it for me as a freelance. I went straight into freelancing, and I kind of coupled it with a bit of what's it called, Webflow. So UI UX Webflow, everything did it for me. And if I could say A, my writing didn't, my teaching job didn't really pick up in Kazakhstan. Tech picked up, and that was it. I just went deep into it 2021, 2022, 23. So I kept on going from freelance to in house job, and that did the trick for me. I became a full time designer, everything. At this point, I missed my first love, which is teaching. So I decided to do teaching part time. I would design overnight and maybe till morning and do some evening teaching gigs just to, as a teacher, especially when you are a volunteer one, especially when you, how do I put this, there's no pressure on you. It's not a job, it's what you enjoy doing. You just want to do it. You just want to do it. So it started back as that, and that's the situation. I continued and continued until would I say I got laid off? I think I would just say before tech fizzled away. How do I put it that way? Okay, that's a story for another day. I don't want to make this too complicated. Back into teaching. Now I'm teaching. Now I am into tech. I do some freelance jobs in design. I have two YouTube channels. And of recent, if you've watched some of my videos earlier, I discovered I have been monetized on Medium. So I am back on Medium. So over the past 1 month, I have done YouTube teaching. YouTube would count as two YouTube channels, this channel and a faceless channel. What's it called? Medium writing, teaching, what else? And freelance design. So I have 5 things I get to do in 24 hours. And it was crazy. It was so crazy. And you should consider family too. I'm married, and it was just too much. I think it took me falling sick to realize that I just can't make everything work at the same time. There are times I would come back from maybe teaching gigs and discovered I think I have not done enough for myself today. Just tell myself that despite achieving a lot of things, make helping people fulfill their dreams, making a lot, I still keep telling myself, you've not done enough. I would say this feeling is from external factors, the things I felt or I still feel I need to achieve before a certain time of my life. I think this might be something that kept on pushing me to just dabble into different things and make things work. But I believe this is not just my story. This is a story that pertains to a lot of people. We've got a lot of people there. You you see yourself doing stuff like this. You just want to make sure you keep your options open, you keep your chances open or high, that if this doesn't work, this will work. And it kind of made me feel boxed into a corner, let me put it that way. I kept on YouTube channels, and sincerely there was a time I decided, okay, I need to call a friend and have a discussion with this friend and see, because he's more of a or he has this oratory skills. He talks a lot, not talks a lot in a bad way. He talks with people or something like that, and to people. And I decided, let me talk to this guy. So I booked an appointment with him. We thinking I would hop on a call and discuss my situation. But the funny thing is that before I could get on that call, I just decided to reset one day. That day I cancelled all my well, this day I was sick. Yeah, that was what made it happen. I just decided, okay, I'm canceling all my classes. I just want to reset and see. Let me zoom out and see things from a different point of action. Why is it that I felt that this day I felt like giving up, like, okay, I'm done. Not mentally I was done. I felt I don't care anymore. I don't care about the money. I don't care about these achievements. I don't care about fulfilling any purpose. I don't care about about helping people in any aspect of my life. I'm just done. So I sat back, and something about me is that I'm this kind of person that doesn't really give up. So for that to happen on this specific day, I felt that day as I was teaching my students, I at the back of my head I was thinking of a YouTube channel I needed to finish the video. I was thinking about this video I needed to record. I was thinking about a task I ought to have finished the day prior, but I couldn't finish it. And everything kept on resonating around me. And I felt, there was this big load all on my head, thinking, how could I achieve this in just 24 hours? And at this point, you should know that I was also noting or thinking of starting gym, just being fit. So it's everything encapsulated into this big bang in my head and decided, boom, I'm done. So in a way, I felt everything could would happen well for me, but I decided, okay, of all those gigs, which ones should I focus on? So the one thing that makes me happy, well, that's teaching. I have decided, okay, I'll go for that. But when we're talking about things that would make me a lot of money, you know what I'm talking about? I know that teaching might work as a hobby. If I were to work for somebody without getting paid, I would go for teaching. So teaching is my number one on my list. But I still want to acknowledge the fact that I want the best for myself. I want the best for my family. I'm not saying teaching can't do that, but the things I have in mind, I might not be patient enough for teaching to do that for me. So I've decided, okay, with that in mind, let me focus on just two things: teaching and YouTube. Medium is something that with time, I would definitely make a lot of money. But the point is, this is just a trade off between or amongst a lot of variables that I feel if I have to dip all my hands in them, I am going to lose. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, why not just focus on, since YouTube is a buy stuff, I could make this channel. So what I'm planning to do now is that this channel, it has no pressure whatsoever. I'm just going to come online, record whenever I wish I want to record. I don't care if it makes money or not. So I'm just gonna come online, record, make this my diary kind of thing. Just talk about things I want to talk about, express myself, and hopefully in the next few years when I come back, I see what I've talked about. So this is me talking to myself, talking to you, a younger version of me, then put that way, or an older version of me, but we're just having the conversation. What is life gonna be like in the next 10 years? When I look back at this decision, I said, oh, I wish I had or I hadn't. But I don't think I'm going to regret this decision. I just want to focus. So YouTube, I might do that for the faceless channel. So I have two YouTube channels. Then the faceless channel is going to be my main focus. Dishing out tests. I have seen people comment on the tests, and they really enjoyed doing the tests. So I plan to continue with that, and I plan to continue with teaching. When it comes to tech is how do I put this? Tech is something that is very lucrative. But at the end of the day, sincerely, I would say I'm not cut out for the pressure, the constant looking back. And sincerely, at this point in time, it's saturated. It's extreme. I'm not trying to discourage you if you're a tech kind of guy, but I feel I thrive better when I interact with people. Yeah, I thrive better. So I'm just going to stick to that. So right now, the focus is I'm going from three, or I'm going to five, trickling it down to just two: teaching and YouTube. It's just a way to see if I can perform better. I believe if I can focus on these two and research, I like to make myself better. And over the course of the time, I have focused or divided my attention on five different things. I haven't really done that. So if I can do that, focus on these two things, I believe I will be exceptional. And mentally, over the past 1 week, I made this decision. I've enjoyed every bit of my day. I've had time to relate with family. I've had time to come online, research, read. My voice is going. Thank you. Let me just stop here. What do you think? And if you are still here till now, I would like you to like and subscribe to this channel. I love, and if you love what I'm doing here, thank you, and see you some other day. Goodbye.